Welcome to It Is What It Is, a true crime podcast. I'm your host, Sean Marie. How was everybody's Friday? Today's episode, like promised, is going to be about Darrick Todd Lee. It is a fan pick from Twitter, and I swear I think I only have one fan on Twitter, and he's constantly picking out episodes, guys, whatever. Like anything on this dude's Google, I'm aware. And so I love him to pieces. He's an amazing fan. And so he constantly recommends stuff. And so ever so often, I like to do one of the things that he recommends. And I don't get on Twitter a lot, so I really didn't know that there was like so many from him. So I feel really bad. So we're going to do one of his. And like I told you, it's Darrick with 2 R's, Todd Lee. And what I mean with 2 R's is I grew up with this kid named Darrick, and there's 2 different ways to spell Darrick. Well, there's like a million different ways, but he always thought he was so cool with the 2 R's and shit. Just shows you could be a killer. Anyway, so we're going to review this guy. And so I'm just going to skim through his little Wikipedia with y'all. And if you guys hear this damn street cleaner in the background, I don't understand why they think the Walmart parking lot needs to be so clean. Y'all just throw your trash on it anyway. Ugh. Flag him down and be like, sir, shut the fuck up. Trying to record. Anyway, sorry. Total, a little off spurt there. It's my Friday. I know it's Friday, but Thursday is my Friday. When you work overnights, it's like being a crackhead without the energy, and you're on a completely different schedule than everybody else in the entire universe. So, I'm super exhausted, and it's my Friday. So if I seem like a space cadet more than I normally do, that's why. But anyway, so he was born in November 5th of 1968. Let's see. He is from Baton Rouge. So he's from Louisiana. Let's see. He has been convicted of assault, some burglary, murder, trespassing, stalking, and he has 7+ victims. The span of his crime goes from August of 92 to March of 2003 in Louisiana. Now, if you guys watch killer shows like I do, there's also a show called The Killing Fields. And you have there's this one retired cop who's hilarious, and this other very, very, very attractive officer. Officer Calhoun. He can arrest me any day. I will go to Louisiana just for him to search me and arrest me. Anywho. So, let's see. He comes from a very strict, hard background, they say. His mama was strict. His stepdaddy was mean. He was a thumb sucker. He got picked on a lot. In school, he called his teacher mama. So other children, shocking, bullied him. And I'm not saying shocking oh, my kid calls their teacher mom. It's not okay to get made fun of. I would make fun of you. I would make fun of you if you called your teacher mom. And kids are ruthless. Anyway, so prior to the murder is when he was arrested for stalking and watching women in his home, which seems like fun. Okay, so that sounds really bad. It doesn't sound like fun to be a stalker. But I am famous for, like, when I drive around at night and people have, like, their big ass living room windows, I look. I'm a looker. I look and see. I'm driving, so obviously it's not like a long glance. But fuck yeah, I look. I'm like, ooh, what's happening? Ooh, what's happening? I don't know. So, I like people watching. So, yeah, anywho. So, his DNA is what linked him to murders and all that fun jazz, because he did go on, like, he would not murder for a certain amount of time. He didn't constantly just murder the entire time. And that was in the Baton Rouge and Lafayette areas of Louisiana. I don't know. Louisiana. And he was convicted in 2004. He had separate trials. And he was given the death sentence. But, sorry, he did not die at the hands of the state of Louisiana. God took him out of the heart disease. So the big guy upstairs took him out on January 21st of 2016. So, and he died in a hospital from the heart disease. So, yeah. And at the time of his death, at the time of his crime, not his death, his crime, he wasn't even the only serial killer in Louisiana. So he wasn't even an original. So he was weird. He would take things from you. He would take your keys, which is super weird of a memento. And I guess it was a power trip thing. And all these women that he murdered were very, very gorgeous. Very pretty women. And I guess they say what his thing is he was going after girls that would have been mean to him when he went through school and was awkward and called his teacher mama and sucked his thumb. If you're going to suck your thumb at home in the privacy of your bedroom where no one else has to hear or listen to you or look at you. That sound, top 10 sounds that piss Jean-Marie off. Hella quick. It's like just as bad as chewing your mouth open with gum. I just want to punch you in the face. I can't stand it. So he would take, like I said, he would take keys. And what's weird, though, is the homes that he broke into weren't, like, he didn't force his way in there. But he has one surviving victim. Well, he probably has more than the one. But the one that I'm referencing to, she was like, he was hot. So, obviously, as he got older and was an adult man, he wasn't weird looking. Even in the pictures on Google from him as a younger man, he wasn't ugly. He wasn't like, ew, gross, caca. So I don't really know why people were so mean to him, other than the fact that he was awkward. They say that he was very, very awkward because of his home life. So the FBI got called in to do a profile on him, and when he gets caught, he talks to the profiler and he is like, "You don't fucking know me." Everybody was when they caught him, everybody's like, "Oh my God, he's gonna spill the beans." And the first person he wanted to talk to was the lady that wrote the profile on him. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna need to talk to her." And then when she gets in the room, he's like, you think you know me? And she's like, yeah, I'm pretty good at my job. So, and despite what some shows say, they say, well, he went undetected as long as he did because for the main fact that people were looking for a white guy and he is African American. And so there was an eyewitness at one of the body dumps, and that person reported back to the police that it was a white guy in a white truck. And so this is Louisiana, white guy, white truck. Okay. Throw the needle in the haystack. Ting. So they weren't looking for him. So that's why he went undetected for so long. Even though I guess in his home life, he was atrocious. Like, he killed one of his, like, he killed the dog and, like, tortured the puppies of the dog or something in his home. Like, absolutely horrible little fucker from the gist of what I understand. So that's why he went undetected for so long. So in some of the shows, they say that the profiler was the reason why they got fucked up. And it really wasn't. It was the eyewitness that was like, no, that messed it all up. So the profiler, she did a good job. Anyway, so they didn't know that he was an African American guy until they tested the DNA to find out at least what oh God, I can't say it. What race he was. And that's when they found out that he was 85% African American. So this changes the whole thing because we have already had deaths, obviously. I'll go through their names as best as I can pronounce them. And so there's these women who are popping up, and one woman was taken from a cemetery while she was visiting her mother's grave. Yeah. And then another woman was taken from her home while her fucking son was home, and he was left by himself. And so he was found the next morning by a neighbor roaming the streets, and he's like, oh, my fucking mom's gone, son. And then another lady was viciously killed in her home. So, like, there's already, like, we're already getting the gist that this guy's a douchebag. So it's all just hectic and crazy. Sorry, I just dropped my mic. You guys fell from the steering wheel. So there's one, like I said, there's the one survivor, right? So there's actually more than one survivor. Because one of them was a child. Like, she wasn't a child, she was 15. Anyway, so this survivor was in her home. Okay? This is the one that I'm telling you that was like, oh, he was hot. So, yeah, two survivors. Sorry, one was a teenager. I'm talking about the one that said he was hot. So she's at home in July, and she's getting ready for work. She's a single mom, I believe. Yeah, I believe she was. Anywho, so she's getting ready for work. Knock, knock, knock at the door. She goes, she answers it. She's like, what? He's like, hey, can I use your phone? She's like, ooh, he's hot. Okay. So she gives him the phone, and the phone book, shuts the door because she's smart, shuts it, locks it, goes back, continues to get ready. Knock, knock, knock. We go to the door. We open the door. He attacks her with her own phone. And he rapes her. While he's doing that, he whispers in her ear, ugh, I've been watching you. Ugh. Then he can hear her son coming down the driveway. Son interrupts the rape. He sees the man running out. And bada bing, bada boom. Okay, so we report this to the police. He wasn't connected. They did know that this guy was an African American man, but they didn't know until obviously her DNA, the DNA from her, is what linked to all the other cases that weren't, like that, all the women who had passed. So she's the live one. So we circle back, boom. Now we find her, okay? She's alive, obviously. We test her. We now know. So, it wasn't for many moon that we find out black man. For the first couple murders, we think it's a white guy. Oh, goodness. So, yeah. Holy cow, right? Could you imagine? And this is in 2002, so he's already been going at it for a minute. And so when they say the son's like, because he did chase him. He chased after him. He just got away. And so she picks him out of a lineup as well. So everything's coming back. Like, we're finding out that this is legitly the dude. She ends up, like, I don't even know. So her description really helps solve the case. Because, like, if it wasn't for her surviving, well, her son coming home, her surviving it, we would have never, well, I mean, they would have, obviously, through the DNA testing, eventually found out that it was the black guy. But, like, once her test came back and was like, bam, then the running of all the other ones all shut, like, you know what I mean? Like, we circle around. We all come back. The DNA test, anyway, comes back to the African male instead of the white guy that they were originally looking for. So she believes that she deserves the Crime Stoppers tip money because, like, it grew to substantial amount because it was even on America's Most Wanted. He was listed as John Walsh's number 3, like, most wanted dudes in America or whatever at the time. And he had put in money for this as well, for the solving. They say, though, that she didn't call the actual tip line, so she was not eligible for the reward. And in 2006, she hired an attorney. And then the state claimed, the Crime Stoppers said that the reward expired on August 1st. So even though she did tell them about the man before, she didn't call the Crime Stoppers. I don't know. That seems pretty fucked up. I don't know. She lost. Kind of dickish, if you ask me. Like, not only did she survive it, but really and truthfully, if it wasn't for her, y'all would have never solved it as fast as you did. Because obviously you hadn't been solving it for a minute. That's kind of stupid. That's way stupid. How dumb. That irritates the shit out of me now that I've just read that. It expires. Reward money expires. So when you're a victim, you need to call everybody and tip them off in case you ever want the fucking money for when the dickhead gets caught. Stupid. So once they find out, like I said, that he is the guy, they find him in Georgia. They trace him through his sister. She gave him a cell phone when he fled and left. When the cops went to his house and everything else, his family had already been gone for a couple of days. When they got a DNA swab from him, like an actual DNA swab from him, he knew. He was like, oh, shit's gonna hit the fan. We got to go. So his sister gave him a phone. They tracked him. They found him. Bada bing, bada boom. He was caught in Georgia. So he doesn't fight extradition. He comes back willingly. And he gets held accountable for all of the crimes. Not all of them. I shouldn't say that. He doesn't get held accountable for all of them. He just gets held accountable. He can't for all of them. Like, they don't try him for every one of them, is what I'm saying. They all get their justice. He's not tried for every one of them. So he is arrested for the murder. He was tried. Sorry, not arrested. Tried. For the murder of... Oh my God. DeSoto. She was found dead in her home. They thought that at the time that she was getting ready to like take a bath and stuff, her husband was injured and I believe it was in a wheelchair or something like that. At least when they got married, he was in a wheelchair. There's a show on, if you Google his name, there's a show that pops up and the mom said, her mom said that her husband was in a wheelchair. I'm not 100% sure if he was the whole time or not, but he was in a wheelchair. And he was gone at the casino, I believe. And then when he came home, he's the one who discovered his wife. And they believe that she was in the process of a nightly care routine, doing her nails, taking a bath, that type of stuff. So she was stabbed numerous times. So there was her, and that was first-degree murder. And then they opted to go just for second degree because there was no evidence that she had been sexually assaulted. So they didn't believe that the first degree would go, so they went for second. And he was found guilty of her murder and sentenced to life. So they did say that, I don't know why this is relevant. And I'm reading Google it your damn self. So his IQ, when it came to competency and being able to stand trial, his legal team did what any legal team does. They make sure that you are smart. They take your IQ. Like, your IQ is tested at some point in time during this whole thing when your crimes are very, very serious. He scores a 65. And a score, I'm so scared to say this, below 69, they say is the line for mental retardation. But since he kept the keys, stalked the women, all this other type of nastiness that he did, they were like, nah, bro, sorry, you're not the R word. You can come to trial. So he had to go to trial and everything else, so he did. And I'm just kidding. So he was also convicted in October of 2004 for the murder and rape back in May 2002 of the USU graduate. I'm just going to say the last name. Pace. Only because I don't want to mess Carolette? I don't know. Yep, see, I already messed it up. He was sentenced to die by lethal injection. Like I said. Those are the two that he was actually taken to court for. He is also on the Dark Desires show on the Oxygen channel. It's season 2, episode 10. It's the very last one if you have Hulu. On season 2. Anyway, sorry. He was also, besides the two that he went to court for, the Pace and, oh my God, DeSoto. He was linked to 5 other murders. Merrier, Green, Kinamore, Colomb, and I'm going to say her first name because I cannot say her last name. Carrie. Yeah. And these are all the women he murdered between 1998 and 2003. I'll list their names so that it's actually like their actual names are listed. I'm like I say, I'm super horrible with names. And do not hold it against me and don't give me your bullshit of if you respect them, you wouldn't mispronounce their name. People mispronounce my name all the time. It's not a sign of disrespect. I have a hard name. It's fine. Human being here, not a robot. Anywhozer. So he killed these poor women. And the teenager, so that whole thing's not in the whole Wikipedia thing. I learned about that through the show. So these 2 lovers, little children's, are in a car, making out, doing whatever teenagers do in a car, when all of a sudden, some butthole with a machete is swinging at them, trying to take off their heads. These children get hurt and injured, obviously severely, because it's a fucking machete. Not murdered though, because a police officer came and saw the car dome light and was like, not today, Satan, not today. And so he went to go bust children fornicating, and he didn't. He stumbled upon across children, gashed the fuck up. So you know his day went to shit real fast. But the good thing is those children's lived. They didn't die. So that one blew my mind. Like, ooh. Even the chick who survived, can you imagine coming home and finding your mom in that situation and being like, save my mom, beat the fuck out of this guy. What do? Her son was obviously like, you good? And she's like, I don't know what that mom said, but I'd have been like, get him. And he went after him. But I don't know. Dude's dead. Moral of the story. He's pretty fucked up though. I don't know why people use being bullied. And like, I understand when you go to court for this type of stuff, especially when you're facing the death penalty and you could obviously die at the hands of the state. I understand why people drag up every little thing that ever happened to them in their life. But does it really matter? Like, at the end of the day, you still, like, no matter whatever happened to you, isn't gonna be, like, no one is gonna hear your sad little story and be like, oh, well, it's alright. It was only 7, right, guys? There's only 7 dead people. No, get out of here. Good God. Kids in my school, dude, ruthless as fuck. And every bitch that was mean to me, every one of them are still pretty, but they're all fat. Ha ha. Like, karma comes around. And, like, some of them even got super religious. Like, okay, takes away everything you did. But kids are rude. Like, that's just it, plain and simple. When my father went to jail, the kids in my school were horrible. Absolutely horrible. I had to turn into... And no, I'm not even, that's true. I turned into the biggest cunt. I'm not even playing. Like, I was ruthless. I was rude and obnoxious. This one girl, I got in a fight with her every year. Like, every year. Because people were hella rude. And like the only way to make them stop being rude was to be a dick and let them know if you say something, something's gonna happen. I'm not just gonna sit here and let you torment me for someone else's actions, because they were horrible, absolutely horrible. Like, ugh, and that's just it too. Is people are like, oh, bullies should apologize. Like, does that? If these assholes hear this and they're like, oh, we were mean. How the hell do you not think you were being mean then? How do you find out something tragic happens to a person, or they're slow, or whatever, and then you bully them, and then you don't think that is like, I don't know. You know what I don't know. When people use that as an excuse, it just pisses me off, because you can be bullied all day long. Okay? That's a you problem. Okay? That's not up to you to figure out why that person is being mean to you or whatever. You need to deal with you. You know what I mean? Like, okay, that's them. They're an asshole and they're being rude. That's a them problem. A me problem is I'm obviously nice and sweet, and so they're just trying to take that away. I hate bullies. I do. And like I said, and I was mean. I'm not going to sit here, because there's going to be people who like listen to it and like, oh, you bullied me before your daddy went to jail. I was a dick. Like, I did not have a very happy home life. I didn't have a happy home life at all. I was not a happy child. I was fucking rude. I was a horrible, horrible, horrible person. And then when he went to jail, I was vulnerable for a second. So people like jumped on it because they were like, oh, bam, she's weak. Bam. And then I went crazy once, and then they were like, oh, she's still crazy. Okay, moving on. We won't pick on her. But like, I don't even know. And then it comes back, I really truly believe, to the parents, to the teachers, and like, especially in this man's life, when he went to school and was bullied for sucking his thumb and calling the teacher mama. Granted, I don't know what age this was at. I'm assuming he was little. So I'm really chopping it up to like that has nothing to do with it. And that children were not like, oh, mama boy. Like, I'm sucking your thumb and calling your teacher mama. I'm really gonna push for the fact that you were not a fucking teenager or in high school or anything like that. No. So like when they were like, oh, he did suck his thumb and called his teacher mom, I'm like, why the hell is that even being mentioned? The shit you pull up with. Like, I swear, if I ever do a dirty crime and like hurt somebody or murder somebody, I might get away with it, y'all. Like, I have a hella sad like coming up story, so I might just be able to make everybody feel bad for me. Especially in now day and age. People were so mean to me. Kids used to be like, oh, did you fuck your dad? You fuck your dad? Ugh. God, I wish I could go back and beat the shit out of some of them bitches. Ugh. Never mind. Find peace and love. Whatever. People get bullied. Like, it's just the way it is. There's survival of the fittest in every form of life. Prime example. I have 2 puppies. I have one that's 6 months and one that's 3 months. My 6-month bullies the shit out of my 3-month. But she's gangster. She waits till he's not looking, comes up with that ball bite, and like, she gets him. But she ain't holding a grudge forever. Like, you get bullied, bro. It's survival of the fittest. When she bites on that nut and she like, he doesn't fuck with her for a little while. And then he comes back and it's a vicious cycle. But that was a dog. I don't know why I used them. But it's just survival of the fittest, honestly. I chop it up to that. It's at home what you do when this is brought to your attention. I believe. Anywho. And my parents always said, don't be the first one to swing, but you can be the last one too. So that's just always been my motto. I am nice as can be to you until you are rude to me. And then when you're rude to me, may it be physically or verbally, then I can get a little vicious. But you had that coming. You see what I mean? Like, I don't know. These women did nothing to this man. Absolutely nothing. They opened their door. They thought they were being helpful. And the teenagers, they didn't even see the fucker coming. So, I don't really think it matters what your IQ is when you do horrible, horrible things like that. Like, I just don't think it matters. I don't think it matters if your mom was mean, if your dad was mean. I don't think it matters. Because if you think you're going to go to prison and they're just going to be nice in there and everybody in prison's nice, I don't think it really matters what happened to you in high school, bro, or junior high or elementary school, because I guarantee you what's ever going to happen to you in prison is going to be worse. You can get raped in prison. Nightly. I hear that's when all the rapings happen. I don't know. Every person I know in prison's like, yeah, they rape at night. So I don't know. But I don't know. Dude's a douche. This guy is a douche. He's dead, so no wondering where he is. I don't know. Kind of weird. Good story though. Good watching. Good story by good show. Good fuck, I forgot the word. Never mind. So good pick. There we go. Good pick. That's what I was gonna say. Good pick. And y'all cross your fingers, cross your titties, cross your toes. Hopefully I made it onto the voting round for the viewer's choice in Idaho Falls. Post-register. Hopefully. I think that'll be really cool. So before I leave, I have a quick question. And if this is like... Okay, so I was listening to that podcast I like. Sorry, I know I'd bring them up every time. But they are older gentlemen. When I first started listening to the show, I will not lie, I thought they were like in their 20s in a weird, creepy room of their home. But the Jeff and Greg are friends with a guy that is a vendor at Walmart. Anyway, he comes in. They make fun of him. And they are so mean with so much love. They call him gay. He is not gay. From all my Facebook stalking, his wife is really pretty. Anywho, and my best friend works in the back, my big booty hoe, and she's like, he is really sweet. He is not gay. He's really, really nice. And so I met him and I'm like, oh, you are kind of cute and precious and adorable. His hair is kind of gay, even though I told him it wasn't gay. It is kind of, but anyway. And I'm not, never mind. Gay is not being used in like a way at all, any way, shape, or form. Putting that out there right now. Anywho, so I was listening to them, find out not in their 20s, not a creepy basement, very successful men. And he has like an actual room and a home he owns, so he's not creepy. Anyway, he defends them. It's super cute. So go back, and I'm listening, and they are talking about how men, when they reach the age of like, they say 40s, I'm saying 30s, but I guess men start shitting themselves. They coughed. It's the equivalent of sneezing and peeing. Like when you achoo, you pee. When you're a woman and you've had children. Or probably a lot of sex. I don't really know. Anyway. And so they were like, hey, when we cough too hard, we poo. And they were going through this vicious story about how like one of them had to poo. They didn't poo at the Walmart they were at. They pooed at home. I don't know. It was a poo story. And then it led into more poo stories. And they were like, oh, being a man is so hard. We poo ourselves. And then I'm checking my demographics. And I was like, oh, yeah, I can totally ask this question. Because unless you all lie, half of my listeners are all women. What is worse, in y'all's opinion, because this was the only thing I could think of when they were talking about it, is men may shit themselves, but we got that bitch Aunt Flo that just pops up, and we could be talking to somebody, start bleeding, turn around, and you got blood stains. So what is worse, shitting yourself or your period starting? I'm definitely going with your period starting. Like shitting yourself, you could chop that up to be like, ooh, someone tooted, and get out of the situation, discard the drawers or whatever. Hopefully go home. I don't know. I know plenty of men who are like, yeah, in my car I keep extra underwear because I shit myself. So, and I know a million bitches who are like, oh, I got extra chonies and tampons in the car just in case. Because literally, like, they're coughing, right? Like, they coughed, they sharted, or even the good old shart. You fart, you shit. You know what I mean? Like, but with your Aunt Flo, your period, your moon cycle, nothing happened. Like there is not like a light that flashes. I mean, some people get cramps, some don't. Like we're just mid conversation and bam. So that's what I was thinking. That's that goddamn sweet. See, he knows. Ugh. Cleaning the Walmart park. And on the employee side, like, why? The shit people do. No one sees over here, sir. Ugh, goodness. You guys, I just can't even. Oh, and it's not official because he hasn't given any dates out or anything else. But I guess the rapper, is that what they go by? Rapper? Yeah, we'll say it because it sounds cool. Is on Facebook. It's 208 Touch. And same on YouTube. He's going to be having a concert hopefully soon. Crossing our fingers, crossing our boobs and toes and all that. Hopefully in May, he's going to have a show. I'm going to tell you right now, I have never been to an actual concert. I've been to a show. I had a friend that rapped in a group. They are no longer a group. I still have their CD. I went to their little show once, and that was it. I've never been to like a musical concert of any sort. Except for that one time. And I legitly only went to see him because I won't lie, he wasn't like a friend. I was kind of hitting it and he was kind of hot. So that's why I went. And that was the only one. There was this local group here at one point in time called 33 Deep. And your girl was obsessed. Like and I knew one of the guy. Well, I didn't. His brother was one of the main guys in it, and I knew him. And I was like head over here, like, oh my goodness, oh my Lanta, because they were very, very talented. They are very, very, very talented. And so yeah, hopefully I get to go to a show soon. How fucking cool would that be? Especially after all this COVID. Ugh. I hate the COVID. I hate the COVID. Hopefully it's on the downcrease. Did you all get vaccinated? Another question I was going to ask you guys. You guys are all so smart. Did you guys all get vaccinated? I'm not going to do it. I am too scared. I am. I haven't even got the COVID. So I'm like, why vaccinate? I ain't got the COVID. But they were talking. Oh my God, I heard police sirens. And I was like, shit, it wasn't me. But they were talking on there about them getting vaccinated and stuff. And like my little brother works for, I think it's like FedEx or UPS. I don't fucking know. He works for somebody delivering packages. And he got vaccinated. And then my mom did. And then my mother-in-law did. And I'm like, fuck, all of you guys are going to grow arms. They haven't. Or died, thank God. So I don't know. And I'm so scared because, like, they give out more weird-ass facts about this whole thing, like the vaccine and everything. I'm so confused that I can't even keep up, and I don't know. And I'm too busy watching other shit. But, like, I don't know. Oh, and another thing. Oh, my God. When I said the lady from Pig Royalty was big or whatever, someone was like, you're so mean. I am not saying that mean. If y'all watch that show, she doesn't give two fucks, okay? She is fierce. Her daughters are a bunch of bitches, but she is big, cheetah print and beautiful, bro. Like I don't know. She's pretty. Such a good show. I tell you what, there's so much crying and just devastation and shit talking that I ever could have imagined ever happened in the pig world. So really, still go watch that show. New episodes keep coming and I just eat them up. But yeah, you guys have a great weekend. Hopefully I make it. You guys will know on Monday if I do or not. But here you go, Kenny. Hopefully you liked it. Keep getting at me on Twitter. Probably need to switch to a different platform, hun. Like I said, I'm not good with the Twitter. I'm not good. Now the damn street cleaner guy is right in front of me. Bro, I parked here because you're not supposed to go there. Ugh. Good thing I'm ending it. Flip him off in a second. Goodness. Anyway, you guys have a great week. I'm 8 minutes late for my lunch. It's alright. The guy who's my manager right now is also my cousin's husband. So, don't worry. I don't get any special treatment. I tried. It doesn't work. He doesn't care. I know I'm trying to end this. And I will. But they called it my cousin-in-law. Has anybody ever heard of that before? If you listen to my previous episodes, me and Jean talked about this once. Cousin-in-law. What the fuck is a cousin-in-law? Obviously, it's someone who's married to your cousin. But does that person really get a title? Every time I look at him, I look at his face, and I'm like, you want a title? And he's like, no, I don't. And I'm like, oh, okay. But I don't know. Cousin-in-law. Motherfucker. Ugh. Sweet street sweepers. Y'all are annoying. Trying to do your job when no cars are in the parking lot. Dick. Okay, I really got to go back in there. So you guys have a great week, and I will be back hopefully Monday, if not definitely Tuesday for you. And yeah, I have my fans, or my friend fans are asking, when am I going to be cool enough to go on that podcast? So I think maybe I'm going to start a petition and force them to let me on their show. If that's doable, I don't know. I could cry a lot. Who knows? But yeah, make up hate mail or something to get on their show. I don't know. Blackmail. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll get on there eventually. I tell you what. But I know they listen. I don't know if both of them do, but I know Jeff does. And so I'm just letting you know that I do have friend fans who are demanding that I go on your show. So just putting that out there. And she's listening to this too. So she now knows that I told you, and you know. So you know. All right, guys. Have a good week. Bye. We have hoodies and t-shirts with the new It Is What It Is logo. If anybody wants to order any, they will be made per order. So just let me know. Shirts are $25 and hoodies are $45 and $50 with shipping. So yeah, if you guys want a sweater or want a hoodie, let your girl know. And please keep in mind, my brother is still missing. His name is Nikos Tessman. He is 5'11". He has a tattoo across his back that says Ghost. He has dirty blonde hair. He's kind of getting balder, actually. So look for like a bald spot. He likes to skateboard around and ride the bus around California, around the Oakland area, kind of. He was last seen and liked going to Washington Park in Alameda, California. He has not talked to his mother or reached her or done anything since February of 2020. We were involved in asking help from the Oakland Police Department, and that has not gone anywhere. So we have turned to the Sheriff Lumpkin here in Idaho, and she has taken over this, and the number for her is 208-879-2232. If you have any information, you can also contact her on Facebook. It's Sheriff Lumpkin. And once again, his name is Nikos Tessman from the California area. His mother lives in Clayton, Idaho. And we would just love to get any information anybody has out there and just keep his name out there. So if you've seen him, heard of him, anything like that, please let me know. And we truly, truly appreciate everybody sharing it and praying for his safe return. Thank you.